I've always felt different. I've always seen things, but when I tried to express them as a child, I was always told to ignore it.
There were people that I didn't know that came to me and said, I have this message that I keep getting that I have to deliver to you.
All of a sudden, out of the shadows, a homeless man just jumped right in front of me. And he said, I'm a soul just like you.
I love it. I wanted to understand the universe and who and what we are and what are we doing here.
We're all part of this amazing soul wave tapping into each other.
This was a major life changer.
You are a light. You have helped me a ton. Thank you.
You've given me the courage to live more from my soul.
Millions of people are awakening. So wake up with Michele Meiche. Be pleased to hear the best-selling authors and experts in the fields of cutting-edge self-help, personal growth, metaphysics, and spirituality. The soul path of awakening. Understand what living awake is. Hello, everyone. Yes, indeed. Understand what living awake is. Woo, we've been doing this a long time, folks. Those of you that have been traveling with me for a while on the soul path. First of all, I want to thank you all that have been traveling with me on the soul path, and I really, really want to give a really big thank you for those that have gone to Spotify and Apple Podcasts and have given a 5 stars review. Left 5 stars. I really, really appreciate that appreciation. It means more than what you could ever know. I know it seems like a small thing, but it is so important. Also, I want to extend an invite to please subscribe and also get the notifications to Soul Insights and Tarot on YouTube. That's Soul Insights and Tarot on YouTube, as well as Awakenings with Michele Meiche podcast on YouTube. Since I started this podcast, there was no other awakening. The only other awakenings there was Awakenings, the EDM group, which has been around, I guess, since the 80s. And they put on festivals and I can't think of it, not trance music they're more known for, but definitely EDM, electric dance music, which I thought, when my guides told me call this podcast Awakenings with Michele Meiche, I thought that is not awakening, but awakenings, because there's many of them. I thought that is pretty apropos, as I do like EDM and a big dancer. So from back in the day and currently. So welcome, everyone. Get your tea, your coffee, your chai, your water, your favorite beverage, your smoothie, your whatever. I have my cortado I just made. And I've been doing videos for Patreon. I've been doing readings. And I have been in the flow of consciousness. So I feel pretty darn good right now, and I hope you do as well. If you want to listen by phone or call in for a reading or to say hi, that number is 347-539-5122. That's 347-539-5122. And please press 1 on your keypad if you have a question or comment. We are going to be diving in, talking about dreams, lucid dreaming to be exactamundo. And I got to tell you, I'm pretty excited also for this Norma and Nisha Burton to come on with lucid dreaming. For one thing, they sent me their guidebook, an oracle deck, and it's just amazing. It's fantastic. I've been using it personally and in some of my YouTube readings. But also in their title, Lucid Dreaming, Lucid Living, Your Oracle Guide to Mastering the Dreamscape, I did I don't know if it was 5-month-long dream course. I think it was 2021. Yeah, because I really didn't do any courses last year. Meant to, but I just didn't have the time or mental energy focus. But Dreamscape. I did a dream interpretation, dream analysis, because I'm also trained in that. Sonoy and Jungian modalities and some other courses that I've taken. But anyway, so I love that. Anyway, I love dreaming. I love working with dreams. I love lucid dreaming, connecting through the astral plane. It is an art. It is a science. It is something that is natural to us, innate, something that we may have to remember how to do or use. But it is something I feel on the path that if you have any interest in it, can greatly enhance your soul path and your life in general. So, yeah, and we did a little bit of that, working with that state through the astral, etheric and astral plane on this workshop and healing session that I did last Saturday, which was pretty amazing. All right, again, 347-539-5122 is the number. Press 1 on your keypad. I think I'm going to get to callers right away and see what's clicking with everyone that's calling in, kind of see what the mode is, and I can tell you what's coming up is bold moves, as I've been describing it in my Patreon. I've been giving a heads up of what's coming up in 2024 and beyond, 2024 and 2025. Pivotal time. A lot's going to be going on that is even more astonishing and awakening than 2020. So 2020 was a little bit of a appetizer. Really, just an hors d'oeuvre. Just a couple of hors d'oeuvres, please, on the path to taste what the entree is. So we're getting ready to get into the entree, folks. 347-539-51 is the number. Press 1 on the keypad. Let's get to callers. Hi, you're on air.
Hi, Michelle. Valerie, how are you?
Valerie, I'm doing great.
Yeah,
How
I thought
you?
This whole madness was going to be over by now, but I guess they're bringing it back.
Yeah, well, back and part 1, part 2. There's much more that will be going on. Yeah, a lot more.
Well, we have a chance to.
Okay. Go ahead. Will you have a chance to? Go ahead.
Will we have a chance to overcome this? What's happening, or what? How does it
What do you
look?
mean by overcome?
I guess survive it is what.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. Yes, one of the things I was thinking about this today, and I thought, I wish I had been more organized, because I went through so much of this in the earlier podcasts, because we always highlight the guests, but I was really downloading and giving a lot of information of what was going to be coming. And, of course, it's also on Patreon. I'm having to keep it there because I got censored on YouTube. Yeah. But
okay. Yeah, I understand.
Survive it. Well, I haven't gotten – the problem is – well, it's a problem, but we're wanting to expand to YouTube, so we're uploading these to YouTube. So I've been able to speak freely on Blog Talk Radio. But once it gets uploaded to YouTube, anything contrary. Right. But let's talk in general terms right now, because, survive it, yes. But there's civil war, unrest, cultural war, more government controls, that's going to be a biggie. Especially as Pluto, and I've always said, people listen to my podcast, I think I've been doing this since 2007, maybe even earlier. But I know I've been talking about the awakening since the late 90s, well, really 1995, the process. But the name of the Great Awakening or whatever, all of that, I think, was given to me in early 2000 or maybe even 2005. My recollection. But when Pluto moves into Aquarius, and it's going back in there, it's going there the 20. I believe it's mid-January. I think the 24th. I've always said that is the time, because Pluto rules people, individuals, and we've had Pluto in Capricorn, which rules structure, organizations, especially governmental structures, hierarchical structures. And we're at these critical degrees. And I can tell you that those that are behind the government, whether red or blue, or I always say it, Tory, Labour Party, whatever the party, it doesn't matter. There's one group, one faction that is all, whatever, left or right, Democrat, Republican, wherever you're from, whatever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And eventually, there's just so much that's going to be happening. The way that we live and how is so greatly changing. This is why understanding your soul path, trusting your intuition, reading the sign, all is so important. Because, and you can probably already see it, people are starting to move in certain directions. It's like separating the wheat from the chaff. Neither one is bad, but some people, there's a resonance to go in a certain direction and have a certain type of life. And those are the more naturalists, and then those that are more heavily baked into technology and willingly wanting to be tracked, and and that's still going to happen, being tracked and traced, and
right.
But it is going to require people to live differently, and if you know your values or what you value, and it's not necessarily on what is fleeting or is external or what is material based. That's not to say don't like material things, because I definitely do. My moon in Taurus, I do. But I also, there's certain things, if I have it or don't have it, it's okay. So again, in a way, it's going to be kind of a pay to play on different levels, or by your values. Certain things will be more important. But yeah, it is moving into a lot of control. I can even tell you, like with electric cars, everything going electric, that there will come a time where a grid is shut down. So you may not be able to get in your electric car because too many people traveling or something going on in a certain neighborhood. So
right, because they can't handle the grid as it is.
Exactly. You got it, Valerie. Yeah, and they know that. And also, not everything can go electric, but they're really trying to push people into this. And I already saw, and what's interesting is the electric, because I really researched this because I was thinking, I got a new car, I was thinking about going electric, and then I looked at different things, and then, of course, I always ask my guides, and they, said, no, do you really want to have that dependency? And what was very interesting, because it takes coal to make the electricity. I mean, electric cars are not that much. I mean, they're just like everything else, good in one way or helping, but in the environment in one way, but in another, horrible for the environment. And then we've got trains, we've got planes. There's not electric planes. There's delivery trucks aren't going to be able to go all, electric, big haul. But what was interesting, about 3 months after I made the decision to not do that, in California, I think it was the summer last year, there was overheating. People were using their air conditioning a lot in California, and then also in Denver, and this whole thing that people had signed up for this, app that you're supposed to save money on your air conditioning bill. But what people didn't realize is that app didn't let you lower. It's like the government, the electrical company had the control, right? And I don't know. I mean, the receipts are there. I read about it. I saw it on regular news, and people couldn't turn their air conditioning down. I even had a client that did that, and they were like, "We can't turn it down." I'm like, "Well, you should always read the fine print, especially with the government, or electrical companies." And then in Denver, people couldn't I don't know if you remember this or you read this. Then right around that same time, near where I live, it came out on the news that the local government was suggesting people don't use their electric cars or fill up or whatever you would call them, charge them, because the electrical grid was being overtaxed. And some of the grids at certain, I think it was Playa Vista, that's near me, they turned off. So a friend of mine was saying, "Oh, there's all these cars." Because she was, I don't know where she was driving from, but she was off the freeway, and she said, "Oh, all these cars are backed up because they can't charge their vehicle. Now, mind you, it only happened for a few hours, but I thought, if it can happen for a few hours, it could happen for a few days, you know.
Right. Yes.
Yeah, Valerie. So, yeah, it's just going to require a different change. And again, a lot of this is the change that's happening to play out those extremes of polarity, to then get into a new balance point, a harmonizing point. We're setting up a whole new way of living and being, a whole new pattern.
Yeah, I can see that happening.
Can you see that? Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But
so
I have
our
a question for you.
children's children will see it. You know, we may not see the totality of it. Yeah. What is your question?
I have a contractor coming out tomorrow. His name is William. Do you pick up anything on him?
As far as
he was referred by a friend of mine to come out and work on my house.
Okay, good. Okay, you went through a few people, right? Or you were looking at a few people?
Yes, I went. Yes.
Oh, good. And you didn't go with the neighbor or somebody, I get, right?
No, nope, wrote them off. Mm-mm.
Oh, good, because I remember that was not reading well. Okay, so this is William. Actually, not bad. It shows you could have other people. You may get more. Have you gotten more? What do you call estimates?
Yeah, about 3 or 4 of them so far.
Okay, and you're weighing them out, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay, because that's what I kind of see you weighing out. Here's what I get. I don't know who it is because I feel like there's 3 or 4. I feel like it's showing variety. It's showing still making a decision. You may go with someone that's slightly higher because there's something they say to you that confirms to you they're on the right path, or you're on the right track with them, or you're in sync. Now, it might be a word, it might be a sentence, I don't know. But I do see you talking to a couple people. One seems to have some kind of, which is interesting. I get like overalls and like brown hair. So I don't know if they have somebody else that comes and works. They're younger. Is this person younger?
I don't know. I'm assuming perhaps he would be.
Oh, you haven't met with them yet?
No, I haven't met with him yet.
Oh, that's why I'm getting, okay. Yeah,
tomorrow.
You need to meet with them and talk so I can get a quicker read, because just off the name, because it's still showing you're in the process of figuring it out. And you're definitely going to meet with them in person. I do not feel it's going to be something over the phone. And I feel like you're going to
coming here tomorrow.
Oh, perfect. Okay. Because I feel like you're going to meet with them in person, and I feel that you're going to talk, say, I think I'm going with you. I see you leaning towards the person, and then I see you weighing out a few of the people. Because right now it's showing kind of to keep it to process and see everyone and hear what everyone has to say, and then pull back and see. But you'll know. I'm telling you, it's a word or
4 of them.
Yeah, I know. That's what it's showing.
Up through already. And one called today asking what was going on. I hadn't gotten back to him. Well, your price is too high. I mean, I didn't tell him that, but.
Yeah. But here's what I feel. I don't know if it's that person, because this is just a quick read, but I do feel you go with someone that's a little bit higher than what you thought or wanted because of something that they say. There's a rapport. There's something there that, and they may even quote you more, and believe it or not, and it ends up being less. But, yeah, but Spirit is saying you've got to talk to them all and bring it back, you know, to yourself and kind of go over the conversation is what I'm hearing. Right. And then you're going to know. You're going to get like, oh, the guy said that. You know, oh, he said that. Okay.
My insurance company to actually give me a formal denial letter back in March. I've called several times, and all they sent me was a form letter, which they could send anybody, and it wasn't specific to me. And I'm like, no, I want the actual denial
keep
letter
at them.
for my records.
Yep.
Okay.
Keep at them. There's a lot of this kind of persevering and kind of toughening up with situations right now. I would say between now and the close of the year, there's a lot of that's going on where you have to just keep following through.
Okay.
Especially with companies, organizations, corporations, companies, there's definitely is a lot of that going on right now.
Yeah, because I was wondering, well, why are they trying not to send me that? Is there a reason that they don't really want to actually send me the, specific to my situation? Because this is
because they don't know if you're going to be litigious, and they don't want to give you too much because it's on the border of they probably should be paying it, is what I'm hearing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I feel like they don't want to give too much. They don't want to give too much, but they will if you keep going. I'm just seeing this with a lot of people in general, that things are happening kind of in stages, and if you keep at it or keep pushing, it's like getting to the next level, and then, okay, we'll put something together. But I know it's trying your patience.
Mm-hmm. They can either send me the letter or send me the check. Either one.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Well, we're seeing how things... And the other thing I'm going to say, a lot of these companies, because, they, with our money, they invest, and a lot of their investments are not doing well. So they're not really wanting to let go of money right now. And you're going to see that, I would say even further in the next 5-6 years. They're not really wanting to, because they're feeling a pinch in a certain kind of way. So it is going to take really a lot of follow-up or follow-through to get things, kind of hashed out.
Right.
All right, Valerie,
so
keep us posted. Yeah, big hug.
Okay, thank you, Michelle. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there's a resonance. Jay's in the chat. I'm having an issue with my insurance company, too. Yeah, see? I don't know, Valerie, if you're on the line, if you just heard that. Yeah,
I am.
There's you are. Okay, see, there's a confirmation there. Yeah.
Wow.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay. Lots of love and light. Bye. Okay, so lights, the call-in number, 347-539-5122. If you have a question or a comment, you can press 1 on your keypad. Also, if you have a short dream, I can interpret that too, or analyze or help you or guide you or ask you the right questions, so you can tune into that if that's something you are wanting to do also. Hi, you're on air.
Hi, thank you, Michelle. My name is Miranda.
Hi, Miranda.
I have a question about my husband. He's currently interviewing, and he is obviously not the only candidate for this position. And it's supposed to be decided soon, I think, by the end of the week or so. And I'm wondering what you see around this. Do you think he'll get it, or will it be someone else?
And what's the first name or initial?
A. A is an apple. Since that's the name of the initial of my husband is what you meant, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
When is he supposed to? Because I feel like something. Is this going to take more? Is this like a promotion, and is this going to take some level of training?
I don't think there'd be too much training involved.
But money. There's an up-leveling of money. It looks like something comes in for him, a new position, or increase financially. I don't know if it's a bonus, or I don't know about this position. I'm not getting a strong read, but it does show that there is some increase financially, either salary increase or there's a bonus. But he's going to know about it, and that's why I was wondering, unless the position comes and then they say there's an increase financially, but it doesn't come until the end of the year, or you have this coming to the end of you both have a lot. I think what's clouding this is you guys have both a lot with money coming up, I would say, between now and February. And it could be more between now and the end of the year, but making plans for February on. So it's hard for me to say, what do we do with this money? Or do we invest it? Or we're going to have this much over. What do we do? So I don't know if this is mortgages, this is 401s, this is retirement. I don't know. There's a lot with, or he could be offered, would he get, are they matching something or offering, whatever it is he's getting, it's too much, it's kind of too detailed for me to go into, because I feel like it's not a straight answer, or they're working something out about, are they matching something, or do you get stocks in this, or we could roll this over till next year. There's some financial planning stuff that's coming up, if not for both of you, for sure him, in regards to this company. Does that make sense?
I mean, we are thinking about finances. Yeah, we are, but I'm just wondering, so it sounds like you're not clear whether he in fact will get this position.
No, I'm not
You
sure.
know.
He gets something though. I don't know. I'm hearing some position or like a raise, and it increases money. But then there's
it could be something else. Yeah,
it could be. If it's not this, then it's something else. But I'll tell you what's most pressing in the spirit realm is this whole thing with money. You guys with money and moving stuff around, and what do we do with this, and where do we put this? And I feel like the job is going to impact that. So whether it's this position or another position, it's like, oh, do I want this now, or do I want it later because of taxes? So again, it's not clear cut, whatever this is, and I don't know if it's because I'm reading so much. These are such quick reads. I'm reading what's most prominent in your energy field is handling this money situation, even beyond the position, because there is going to be something where there is an increase financially for him, and you guys are going to be looking at taxes or what you're paying into something, whether it's a portfolio of something. It's going to affect your money. So that's what Spirit is focusing more on rather than this position, because he is in an upswing. I'm just not able to see if it could very well be this one. If it's not, there's something else that's coming in.
Something else. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
I mean, because one job is actually coming to an end very soon, and so he's looking around for other means to, have an income, or Well,
he's going to have income, and there's something about structuring the pay or how he gets paid differently, or what goes into where. So that's what I'm saying. It's not a quick answer. This is not like somebody that works 40 years in a company and I, interviewed, am I getting this? There's other factors that are coming in from your very own higher selves as to what's the best deal. It may be a contract ending, and okay, we can say that it starts in a month. Do you want to start it in a month or 2 weeks? You know what I mean? There's some more finite turning, knob turning to your question than just, is he going to get this position? Yeah, there's more to it. All right, good luck,
okay.
Miranda.
Well,
keep us posted. Yeah, you're so welcome.
Nice. Thank you. Take care.
You too. Bye-bye. Hello, you're on air.
Hi, Michelle. This is Mary. How are you doing?
Hi, Mary. Welcome. I am doing great.
Thank you.
I feel good to connect. I just always, no matter what in the heck ever in my life I'm going through, I feel always great connecting with everyone here. So
I feel the same way. I look forward to Wednesday afternoons here. I'm on the East Coast, so.
Oh, very cool.
Yes, I'm a long-time listener, and I feel that my dream medicine is coming back right now. I've been having some clairaudience type things happening in my state. Kind of interesting, so I'm going to keep exploring that. But I'm
good.
I wanted to see if you could tune into my oldest dog, Bailey, and see how he's doing and I feel like he's getting ready to transition, but I don't know if I should get involved or just let him and his guides do his thing. So I just wanted to see what you think.
Oh, let's see, Bailey. Okay. That's the best approach. Play it, but feel it out. You can't plan for this. I feel him going kind of in and out.
Me
Is he getting better and then not as well and better? Yeah, he's in a cycle. Yeah, he's in a cycle. It's just the care that you're doing, the snuggles and hugs, and then sometimes he wants to be more on his own. It's just showing, trust your intuition, trust how you feel.
Okay.
Yeah. There's just a lot of healing, nurturing energy.
Yes,
around you.
Felt that.
Is that true?
Yes, I've been trying to give that to him a lot recently, and it's going a lot better.
That's what he needs. That's what he needs.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Yes.
You're doing exactly. That's what he needs. That's all. That's. Let me see. How is he receiving it? Because we asked how. Ooh, he's loving it.
Oh.
Be persistent, consistent. Yeah, he's loving it. It's actually helping him. So sometimes he feels a bit stronger, after the nurturing and the the kind of emotional connection and care. So yeah, you're doing it. You're doing it.
Okay, wonderful.
Perfect.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. Big hug to both of you.
Big hugs. Okay, peace, everybody.
Bye. Hello, you're on air. Hi, you're on air. 304. All right, Soul Lights, if you have a question or a comment, press 1 on your keypad. I'll get to some. Let's see, Jay in the chat. Hey, Michele, I have 3 different job interviews in the next week. Do you see anything coming through? Is it a guy to move on from where I am? If so, which one looks good? I kind of feel, you guys, unless something is really easy, and Jay, I'm going to pitch this out to you. I feel more stuff is going to move close of the year and into after January, February on. If a lot of people, even if you take something now, you may not stay with it. Let's see, because it's like new information is coming in. I'm hearing new facts are needed. New information is coming in that you may want to do something different. Let's see, coming for Jay. Let's see, in regards to work, career. Yeah, it's telling you to dig deeper or look deeper about what it is you really want. And it may be, let's see, what area, Jay? It may be something more utilizing the internet, utilizing writing or publishing or doing something also on your own. So I don't know if that resonates at all. Maybe even bringing your spirituality in. It's telling you to look big picture, because I feel like there's little changes, and this kind of goes for everyone. I've been talking about this on Patreon. There may be looking big picture, looking out over the horizon, there may be little changes you can make now that better align you to where you actually want to go and what you actually want to do, rather than only thinking about the money, right? Okay, so in other words, I really want to do X, Y, and Z, so I'm going to make... Well, it could even be going to school. Let's say somebody wants to work, is a web designer, or wants to work digitally. Maybe you're looking and going, rather than completely changing the job now, I'm going to keep the job, put less emphasis and focus on the job I have now or the position I have now, and I'm going to study. I'm going to learn something, or I'm going to see what's out there. What are people looking for? This is a good time, everyone, to look at the trends. What are people looking for? And then how can you do that in your own way? Also looking at what do you think is missing, right? So, and filling that gap. There's going to be a lot of gaps next year and especially 2030, so, between 2025, 2030, where either new technology, utilizing that, or a lot of people are using new technology and maybe someone doesn't want to use a certain type of technology, right? Maybe someone says, oh, we want someone that's actually trained in painting. We don't want someone only that can paint digitally, or we want someone that's an actual painter that can also paint digitally or can take what they know, you see what I'm saying, and apply it. So right now it's really a lot about, researching to some degree. I'm going to get to callers again. Let's see who's... Oh, see, perfect, Jay. You're trying to get more training. An increase in money would be nice. I want to keep learning. Yeah, I would learn. If you already know you want to get some training in something to get better at something, I would do that. And part of that has to do with what we call, in the tech world, in the media and marketing, is trusted networks. That trust, that, and I think that I started hearing about that around 2009, maybe around 2009 and 2011, somewhere in there, or I think maybe more 2011. People, this is one of the reasons I work with a lot of the same people, or they come back and work with me privately or in groups, because I always stayed training. I have this gift, and sometimes it's like people say, well, what do you do? Or friends of mine are like, well, why don't you focus on one thing? And it's like, well, to me it's all the same but different modalities. So I got, holistic healthcare training, trained in massage therapy, trained in astrology, trained in numerology, trained in esoteric sciences, trained in transpersonal psychology, trained in hypnotherapy, trained in Jungian dream therapy. Do you see what I'm saying? The training. And so I'm like this too, and a lot of people are like this. If they want to explore these different things, past life regression, you can go to different people, or you can go to somebody that you trust, that you work with. Now, that doesn't mean, okay, don't go to different people, but I would rather go to somebody that I know and trust, and if they are trained in different modalities, I would rather work with them. I would rather work with somebody as a core. Maybe I'll go to different astrologers that have different emphasis, which I think that is good. I think it's good to go to a lot of different practitioners. But if you know somebody that is skilled in multiple disciplines and you already know how they work and you trust them, then it's easy to slip in, do what you need to do. It's like going to the dentist and getting your teeth cleaned at the same place, or the chiropractor that has the massage therapist there, whatever it is. So that's that trusted networks, but it's also trusted individuals, and it's finding that resonance, or 3 or 4 people. You get your crew, 3 or 4 people. Sure, branch out, but you may find you have a base of 3 or 4 individuals, or up to 10 individuals, or resources or activities. That's what the soul is looking for. Jay is saying that would be the biggest push to leave where I'm at. Need more training in digi stuff. Yeah, see, Jay, there it is. Get the training. That's what I'm saying, everyone. This is a perfect question Jay is putting in the chat. Is that if you know you want to leave, get the training that makes you more marketable, or makes you feel more confident, or makes it more fun, or that broadens what you're doing. Right? It's like I go back still to my training, and it was limited, very limited. It was with a lot of my DJ friends, actually. Shout out to Petey, Funkin' Corn. When I first started my podcast, and I had to use Pro Tools, I had to do my own editing, my own sound editing. I learned just enough really just to get by, and then I had to learn about mixing and uploading to the FTP. Shout out to Jen, and I would have tutorials. It doesn't have to be formal training. Jen, who works with me still, she would send me these emails and you know, screenshot stuff. Try this, do this, read up on this. And because I love learning and I love technology, so I would learn something, or we'd have a tutorial, she'd show me something and then say, you try it. And then I would learn, and then she would, you know, help me make adjustments or corrections, or no, not that, try this, or learn this, or no, what you need to learn now is this. So it doesn't have to be going back to school. It's really for your own, it's really for you, you know, unless it's something that you want to do in the marketplace, because I'm not going to be a sound engineer, although I loved editing and I love even video editing. But I realized when I talk to friends that do video editing and sound editing or audio editing, you know, they're like, you have to do it 8 hours a day. Even DJing. I wanted to DJ at one, and I did a little bit. And I'm like, if I really want to do this, the people that are masters at it are doing it all day. And what am I doing all day? Readings, transpersonal therapy, hypnotherapy, you know, astrology. You know, that is my world. So maybe I'll get to the other stuff at one point in a bigger way. I don't know. We'll see. But I can tell you everything I've ever learned, I've been able to bring forward, and it's kept my mind open. So whatever it is that you want to do, look big picture and find, it could be a workshop, it could be a seminar, it could be a friend that you help with one area of their life or one skill, and they help you with another. It doesn't necessarily have to be going back to school. It may be, for some of you, some kind of tutorials or, you know, vocational training or retraining. Right now is the time to do that for the bigger opportunities that are coming in the next couple of years. So if that's where you're being led or drawn, then my perception is I would listen to that intuition. I would look at where you're being guided. I mean, I had my TV show back in the day, and that helped me with podcasting and all that I learned, you know, in that. And again, you don't have to be totally expert in that, but you just need to be functioning. And so find what is that sweet spot for you. That's what I would say right now. That's what I would look at. All right, let's see. Who do we have here? Did I already? Hi, you're on air.
Hi, this is Mary again.
Oh, hi, Mary. Nice to talk to you. Talk to you later.
You too. Okay, bye.
Bye. Hi, you're on air.
Hi, Michelle. Thank you for taking my call. This is Katie.
Hi, Katie.
Hi. I am moving, and I'm moving to Atlanta, and I've been doing a lot of research with apartments.
Good for you. I love it. Research. The soul loves research.
Yes. So, like, I had an apartment person helping me, and they're sending me, you know, like, they're sending me apartments. But I'm like, okay, I have to look at, you know, what's the surrounding area. You know, I have to go through the Google reviews. You know, I have to see how the building's being maintained. Like, I just can't, you know, move somewhere. And I'm finding that a lot of the places, I guess, unless you're like paying way over budget, a lot of the places are just not being maintained well. They're just not being maintained well. And I'm kind of thinking about one in I found a condo building, but they have some apartments available in this condo building. The building is beautiful. It looks like a hotel. All the places out there look like a hotel, right? All of them look like a hotel. But I've never lived in a studio. But it's big. Like, it has a huge balcony. I just never lived in a studio. So I'm thinking about either the studio area, that one. It's in a clean building. And then someone called me about an opportunity the other day, and I'm a little mad at myself that I didn't jump on it. And somebody put an application in, so I'm waiting to hear if they are going to take it or not. I'm kind of waiting to hear back. But that was a nice, pretty building also. So I'm kind of trying to, I guess, attract a safe building, a clean building, you know, somewhere I can meet friends and, you know, and thrive
mm-hmm.
at. So I guess I wanted to get the energy around picking a place because it's been an ordeal.
Well, I find unless you can go there and look at some places and pick them, or look at some places and say these are the places that I like, and tell a realtor that, and you're just going to land. I get a feeling though you're going to land. Well, now this is interesting. Is there one place that has like a park in it or near it, a lot of greenery, like a quad or walking areas? Heavily landscaped?
I don't know.
Not yet that you know of?
Not that I know of. Yeah, like one is like literally on the main strip. Like it's cars flying everywhere. It's a main strip. And then the other one, the other one is like, it's kind of secluded and it's kind of not. It's like, it's a little bridge you walk over, but it's not like a real bridge. It's like this little bridge. And then you kind of like walk up, and then it's like a bunch of restaurants and lounges and Lululemon.
Oh, that sounds nice. Can you walk around a lot?
Both. I think both of them you can walk around like.
Because I feel like one of them has, and does one of them have like a you have to enter with a key?
I think you have to enter all of them with a key.
Okay, because all right, Katie. The best I can do, because it's just so quick, because you've got a lot of different places. Yeah. I see the place that you end up loving, and you have to enter with a key. I don't know if it's a doorman or there's just a big gate, because I can see you getting your mail. You get your mail down below. You get your mail.
Mm-hmm.
I see a desk, and there's a lot of amenities either around or in the place. Right? Like laundry, or there could be a little convenience store or something. And you walk a lot, and there are shops or something, and I can hear you telling someone, I just love it because I can just get my mail, and then I just go out and I'm walking. And you go for a walk. So I don't feel it's the place with all the cars zipping by, because there's a walkway, and there's something like, it's not huge, like a huge park, but you know how sometimes they have just little landscaped areas that you walk, like if there's a sidewalk or a walkway. It has that, but I definitely feel you feeling very safe. And
that's what I want to feel.
There's definitely a places that you could walk around to, and I see you going downstairs. You get your mail. So it's definitely some kind of building, right? It's not like you have your own mailbox. You got the key. There's a lot with the key. Oh, getting in here, and maybe there's a pool too. There could be a rec area or a pool. But yeah, you definitely have to get in and out with the keys, get the mail, and then you're walking around. And I feel you're going to feel very satisfied.
Would you be able to tell if I've seen it already? Like if I called these people already?
I'm not sure if you have or not. I'm not sure, because I feel like I definitely do not feel it's the one with all the where you said there's cars buzzing in it. I do not see that.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, it's like a main street. Yeah. Okay. No. Well, I love that, because I do want. That's what I want. I want to be somewhere safe. That's the number one thing. And clean.
Even if there is a larger street or boulevard on one side, I see you walking out the other way, where it's more park or landscaped, or I don't know what they call it when these like a condo complex or apartment complex. They have little areas that are landscaped.
Yeah.
And you always go out that way. You go out that way unless you're leaving in your car. I see you going out that way.
Wow.
So it's there. You'll know.
Okay.
You'll know where it's at. It's there. That place is there for you.
Okay.
All right, sweetie. Keep us posted, and
I will.
Got great guests coming on, so you can listen.
Thank you. I will listen.
Continue.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye. Hi, you're on air.
Hi, Michelle. This is Mary Beth.
Hi, Mary Beth.
Oh.
Welcome.
So I've been following you more on the picket cards on YouTube lately. My schedule's like weird, but I've followed you for over a decade, and
thank you.
So yeah, I've had a very interesting summer project that I did not expect at all, but I see it was just, I feel like it was planned by a much higher power than me, and it just fell into place as I've had both of my knees replaced. And I'm turning 60 this year, and I feel like the world is my oyster. I just feel like...
Oh, my God.
I feel like...
Mary Beth,
I just...
Do you want to...
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to hear something that's so synchronistic?
Okay.
One of the I'm doing the Patreon videos for October, and I'm tuning in with the guides and, looking at the energy and everything, and even putting a little astrology, everything that I do. Guess what the analogy I gave people for October is?
The world is my oyster.
Yes, the oyster.
Well, it's funny because I didn't even plan. It just popped out of my mouth too. And I'm kind of like, well, what I ask her, and I just want to contact with you because your energy's so good and your guidance is so good. But I'm just like, yeah, is there something completely different coming for me? Like I'm thinking, am I going to go back to body work, training horses, or is there something completely
Well, that's a big question. I can dive in a little bit, but I'll just tell you without giving too much away because it's on my Patreon community. You might want to join that. But I really was getting this oyster, and I was literally with my hands doing the motion of the oyster and the pearl. People, what's hidden or the hidden gem within,
and the grit,
the gifts, the grit
too. It's the grinding. Makes the
grinding,
pearl.
But guess what? We've already been doing the grinding. It's time to open up.
That's why I had my knees replaced.
Well, in knees, when we look at the psychosomatic or the metaphorical focus, if you look at body, mind, with knee, a lot about support and going forward. Obviously, mobility, but how we're moving forward. So usually there are changes when people get things done with their knees.
Absolutely. I'm going to get my life back. I'm a really active person. If I wouldn't have had this done, I would have been...
But differently. So that's the thing when you get knee surgery, knee replacement, or ligament, or meniscus, or anything having to do... And also, by the way, knees have to do with ego. Same with thumbs.
Yeah.
So it can be a wake-up call as like, what is ego? Meaning, not in a negative way. We need the ego. As a therapist, we need that. That's an important function of our psyche and how we process as an important function. But also, the ego likes to keep the status quo to keep us safe. That's part of its function. So there could be old ways, old approaches, old behaviors, old thought processes that need to be updated, changed, or completely let go of. And so the willingness to do that.
Totally accurate.
Yeah, because knees can also be being very stubborn and very and rigid. So sometimes we have to learn a new way to move forward or allow a new way of us moving forward in our life to come through. So that may have something, for you. But I do see our guests in the queue, so if you have a question that I could kind of hone in on, I'll answer that.
Just maybe something to help me allow, because I really intuitively feel like I'm in a place in my soul journey that it isn't about me always having to work. And I'm feeling like I could contribute to the greater good by doing what I love every day.
Yeah,
but my old rigid thinking is you gotta work, and I just feel like all the stuff that I've been getting from you is abundance coming, and it's sometimes hard for me to believe because I've had to work so hard for everything.
Yeah.
So how is there some practice you can suggest to help me?
Well, one thing that I would suggest always is to integrate both parts. So it's not that working is bad, it's how we do the work.
Oh, exactly.
Or our approach.
I love to work, but not as a slave.
Right. So acknowledging that part that has that belief or mentality, and then little by little doing something differently, doing up some kind of pattern interrupt. I'm going to try this. But definitely listen to that other part, acknowledge it, and then tell, even good self-talk, okay, but we're going to try this. Because the working hard or working long hours, especially when you're engrossed in something, I mean, when I had my television show, sometimes we were taping or, videoing or whatever you want to call it for 12, 13, 14, 15 hours. We flew to a different location, and I was engrossed in it. I was ingrained in it. But it's like...
Well, it's giving you a lot of energy back, too, right?
Well, but if I did it too much, it would drain me. Or even doing readings. Sometimes I can get editing, doing videos, doing content, and it's 11 o'clock at night, or I'll just go till 2 a.m. or 3. So sometimes when you're building something up, that can be very appropriate. But the recognition that that's not the place to live at. We don't want to do this chronically. So I would say for you is to pick something you enjoy doing or gives you a lot of fulfillment and start integrating that so that you get a little more of that energy. You get that little nice, feel-good hit, that dopamine from that without doing either or.
That's what I'm doing. I'm living on a horse farm. Yeah, I'm living on a horse farm, and I get to care for horses without all the responsibility.
Yeah, so just integrating little by little will begin to shift out of the extremes of the polarity of the either or, okay? And that's because your own inner psyche will process, and rebalance if you don't stay stuck in the either or the judgment of that other aspect of you that that's been kind of controlling the narrative, of how you navigate.
Yeah.
But that's what I could tell you really quickly right now. And keep us posted. Call back next week. We can dive in a little deeper.
Okay, cool.
Keep listening. All righty. Take care.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.
You too.
All right.
All right. I'm trying to see our guests here coming on. All right, gang. So second half of the program, our Awakening Dialogue is with Norma Burton, Master of Transpersonal Psychology, scholar of world religion, has studied a lot in world religion, obviously dreams and lucid dreaming, and Misha Burton is a skilled dreamist. How's that? Skilled at working with lucid dreaming, also a digital artist and filmmaker. And as I spoke about in previous episode and also the beginning of this episode, their most recent book, Lucid Dreaming, Lucid Living, Your Oracle and Guide to Mastering the Dreamscape. You hear me, I do not reference a lot of books that I receive or cards unless I really like them and use them, and I can definitely say that. Great book, Lucid Dreaming, Lucid Living, Your Oracle and Guide to Mastering the Dreamscape, and comes with a very, very just wonderfully detailed, or I'd say detailed enough, oracle deck that really I have found it's been quite accurate in the way that it relays either whatever I'm going through or needing to hear or see, or when I'm doing the readings on YouTube. All right. Welcome, Norma and Misha. Are you both on air? Hello.
Hi, this
Welcome.
is Norma. So glad to be with you.
Hi, Norma. Good to be with you. Now, is Misha... Oh, let me see. Norma, let's see. Misha. I think we got both. Misha, are you there?
Yes.
Hi.
Misha here. Hi.
Hey.
Great to be here.
Oh, I'm so excited to have you both on. My gosh.
Thank you for inviting us. We're so excited to be on your program.
I got to tell you, I was talking at the beginning of the podcast because, let's see, I think not last year, 2021, I had a workshop, actually a course on dreams and dream reentry called Dreamscape.
Oh, wow.
That's in your title, and I'm doing something else at the end of the year, but I got your book and cards, I guess a couple months ago, And I was just enthralled and started using them right away. Yeah, and then I told the producer, I'm like, oh, my God, you've got to get them on. She's like, I'm trying to. And this, I don't know if you guys are busy or whatever, the scheduling with our schedule and your schedule, but I've got to tell you, the two of you, what you put together is just the wording, the background. I love the key words. I love the imagery. It's just enough to kind of anchor in, but not too much that it overpowers what you're receiving. And as a psychic channel, and a medium, I love cards like this, right? That just, it's not so much that it's telling you everything and what it has to be, but it is a great guide card to whatever the process that's coming up from the unconscious. So anyway, I really want to just validate the two of you and acknowledge what you two have, this masterpiece that you both have done is just really amazing guide to be used in a lot of different ways. I mean, I can even see you use it as a therapist using it, for what's going on underneath, So
yes.
Yeah.
Well, hearing that from you means a lot, because you're so intuitive and tuning in on deep levels, and so to hear that feedback from you really means a lot. So thank you.
Oh, thank you.
We found the cards to be very accurate. When somebody draws one, they always get an answer that's appropriate for their need and their question. So we're really excited to realize that the cards are infused with that magic somehow.
Oh, they are infused. I mean, even today I was doing for my Patreon a video, and I was talking about being bold and in your power, and then I think the card was 14. I chose a card, and it was centered in power, I think it's called.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
And I was like,
that's perfect.
I know, right? I mean,
wow.
I was like, boom. And, I'm looking at this one. Oh, God. You guys are going to have to get the deck if you want to see what I'm looking at. Questioning Mind, number 29, with the mind opening and these butterflies.
Yeah.
I mean, oh, my God. What the words, but the imagery, it's like, let's get background on you two, but I want to know how you came to decide to do this masterpiece. I mean, I'm telling you, I feel like this book is going to stand the test of time as a guidebook and resource.
Wow.
It's
I'm so glad to hear that.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I mean, the teaching, you've got the lucid dreaming teaching, and then you've got, which I love, and then the message, the reversal. And then I found the keywords to be really something that you can take away also, not just to interpret, but to hold on to a little bit. Like, let me digest this by focusing on these key words. So, anyway, if you guys are listening, now you're probably very curious, I would really consider, if you have any interest in dreams or just working with oracle cards, this, I think, is a must in your library. So whoever wants to start with what background and then how the two of you decided to collaborate on this.
Yeah, I can jump in. This is Nisha speaking. Sure. Yeah, and then I'll let you follow up. So we're a mother-daughter team, which is so great to be able to work intergenerationally with both of our shared skills and also just a long lineage of dreamers and dream work and understanding how to navigate those liminal realms, the realms of our psyches, consciously. I mean, that's the big part with lucid dreaming specifically, is being able to bring conscious awareness into the dream time. And a lot of my mom's work too, which she'll speak more to, is around leading people in drumming journeys, which are trances, state drumming journeys that happen from waking reality, and the drum beat itself takes you into a liminal realm. So I was raised in that lineage of going on many drumming journeys as a young child all through my adult life, and then also personally have always been a very enthusiastic dreamer. I've always loved dreaming and was obviously encouraged in the dream time by my mom. And then my own studies, too, with the works of Stephen LaBerge, Tibetan dream yoga. I just consumed so much around lucid dreaming, especially in my early 20s when I became really interested in it, and interested in being able to bring more conscious awareness into the space that I ventured into every night, right? And wanting to know how to navigate that space with this level of lucidity. And for context, because we get this question a lot, like, what is lucid dreaming, and the difference of lucid dreaming instead of just a normal dream. And so lucid dreaming is where you become fully aware and awake within the dream. You become fully aware that you are dreaming while you're dreaming. And sometimes people have kind of a hazy awareness, and they wake up, they're like, oh, yeah, I think I knew that I was dreaming, but, they're going in and out of the dream material, and they're not really fully lucid. But when you become fully lucid, it's this amazing epiphany, aha moment where you're like, I know I'm dreaming, and then you have a new level of agency and consciousness within the dream, and everything becomes very visceral, very tangible. I tell people a lot of times when you have a lucid dream, it feels as real as being in waking reality. Everything you touch, taste, smell, it's heightened. There's a heightened presence there within the dream time. So it's a really exciting experience. This is leading into my background, too, of becoming a really skilled lucid dreamer and having and cataloging hundreds of lucid dreams and really exploring advanced states within lucid dreaming, out-of-body experiences, all of these things, and feeling so passionate about it and wanting to help teach and share it with others because of the level of personal empowerment that it brings to one, and just feeling this newfound confidence and ability to navigate not only the dream realms, but also waking reality more consciously. And that's why we called this guide and deck Lucid Dreaming, Lucid Living, because it's about the dream time and ordinary reality integrating with one another and bringing conscious, lucid awareness into both states. And so to finish up with this part, and then I'll let my mom talk a little bit more too, how the project itself came to be is that, with our combined skills, really wanting to bring forth a new system, a new way of learning lucid dreaming. Because, like I had stated, I've read a lot of books, I've done a lot of classes, I've studied a lot with lucid dreaming, and it's all very linear, which is great and helpful. But time and time again, I'd have people coming to me and saying, I got into lucid dreaming for a little while. I read some books about it. I had a lucid dream, but then I kind of just fell off with it, or I wasn't able to have a lucid dream again, or, like all of these struggles with being able to stick with it. And so developing this way of having it be an oracle deck where it can be a nonlinear way of accessing this information, pulling a card and seeing what lucid dreaming teaching and message is there for you in the moment, and being able to work with it, in a dedicated way, and then move on to the next lesson. But you can read a book cover to cover and then put it on your bookshelf and forget it and never, engage with it again. Whereas this is a way to constantly be engaging with it and also getting that guidance like you would from a traditional oracle of your daily life dilemmas. And so our hope and what we're seeing with people using the deck already is that it is really this new, exciting way to learn lucid dreaming that keeps you engaged, that keeps it playful, and that keeps it, just feeling really like something that's not an overwhelming task, but you can take piece by piece as you go with your dreaming journey.
I love that. Yeah, and I think the cards add an extra dimension that you would, it extends the dream, if you will. It extends you into the dreamscape, or the dreamscape into you, where I don't know that that's as possible, because it's, reading a book it's amazing, but it's much more linear. So you have that, I think, that added dimension when you have both the book, the guidebook, and then the card that reflects. So yeah, I would agree with you on that, Misha.
No. Beautiful way to
Norma.
say it. Well,
right, doesn't it? That's what I how to bridge that with the dreamscape. Yes, right, experiential. Yeah. You really do need a bridge, right?
Yes.
I think.
I've used the bridge of drumming journeys that I learned early on from people coming back from the Amazon and training me when I was in my 20s in the power of going into the lucid state through the drum-induced trance state. So I've been working with people with that for years, as well as being a Jungian analyst and working with dreams deeply. But we do have a lineage of being dreamers, as Nisha said, which I think a lot of people out there do. In fact, everybody dreams, whether you remember them or not. Every person dreams. And it's just a matter of tuning into them, honoring your dreams, and waking up to them. But I was really blessed to have a grandmother who people would come to from the community with their dreams and ask for her guidance and interpretation, about like you are, Michele, right? Right. So my grandmother
love that.
Was like that.
Oh,
right. There are people that are very gifted, and when Nisha was little, I knew she was gifted with it too, and she, from the time she was very little, started having really powerful dreams. So then, when she was in her 20s, and I started hearing her lucid dreams, and they were getting more and more developed and advanced. Eventually I said, Nisha, you've got to share this with the world because you are having access to these dimensions in ways that I have rarely heard. And she's become more and more advanced in her lucid dreaming, so she has a lot of guidance to share with people about the lucid dreaming progress that can be made. So it's all there in this book.
I love that.
In the cards, step by step, how anybody can progress with it.
Yeah, and we're so meant to use this aspect of our being and that part of our life. I kind of, just as you were talking, Norma, I kind of got a little, I don't know, like a little hit here that, as we're creating this new paradigm and this, new way of being, accessing this new emerging consciousness, this evolution or awakening, there's different ways to look. The dreams are key.
Yes.
Right? Dreaming in our, I'm thinking grandmother medicine, not dreaming in the future. And dreamers were highly, in a lot lot of cultures, revered. Let's go dream on
even
it. Let's go
even in the Bible, but there are dreamers in the Bible. There's dreamers in every culture. It's been valued throughout time as a source of wisdom or a source of linking up with the mystical dimensions, right? Whenever there's been big changes happening in cultures and on planet Earth, the dreamers played a key role. And like you're saying, nowadays that's happening again, I think, don't you? That we need this access to consciousness that's beyond our rational minds to be able to figure out what's happening now. So we really need increased access to the mystical dimensions.
Yeah, I guess something you said kind of triggered that, the importance of it and getting back to that and maybe learning or relearning that or remembering or learning a guide to that. And it's an important part of my life. I see it as important, but something as you were talking, I'm like, oh my gosh, I see now why we're having this discussion, this conversation is it needs to be brought up to more prominence. It's a missing link or piece to what's next, right?
Yeah. That's something that I, talk a lot about too, is that in our culture, unfortunately, the dream time has become so devalued. There's the phrase, oh, that was just a dream, which is about, it's less important than waking reality. It's less important than the mundane world. But really, like you both are saying, there's actually a huge value in the dream time. And I talk to people, too, about how it doesn't just have to be lucid dreams. Lucid dreams are amazing, but even just a normal dream, really for people to take the time to write down their dreams. That's kind of the beginning stage of dream work and the beginning stage of working towards lucidity, too, is to honor the dream time, honor your psyche by listening to it and writing down the messages that you're receiving from it. And a lot of times people will also say, well, I don't dream, or I have a hard time remembering my dreams. Like my mom said, everybody does dream. Yes, we can have various factors that make it hard to remember our dreams. But I encourage everybody listening, if you're having a hard time, to just stick with it when you wake up in your bed. Stay in the same position. Don't look at your phone. Don't start thinking about the emails you have to answer, but really stay with your dream time and try to remember a tiny glimpse, a tiny moment, even just a feeling. And a lot of times when you do that, you stick, even if you think, oh, I didn't remember my dream or I didn't have a dream, you'll be surprised how the dream starts to come back to you, to meet you when you honor and meet it, and then it'll all come flooding in. We even have a card that's the first card in the deck called Dream Recall, and it's all about catching that tail of the dragon. It's the imagery, but if you can catch just a teeny piece of the dream, it'll come flooding back to you 9 times out of 10. And when then you do the next step of honoring it by writing it down, I've even myself been amazed by like waking up, thinking I didn't have a dream, sitting with it, thinking a little bit, realizing I had a lucid dream, writing the lucid dream down, and then seeing in that act of writing how profound it was, how amazing and otherworldly and exciting, and how much knowledge and information was contained within it. So there's these layers of exploring our psyches and turning to face them, learning to listen to the messages of the dream. That's really at the core of what all this is about.
Mm. And that, what you're sharing there, brings me up to another part of your book, which I'm, like I said, so excited about, is you give the different uses, because a lot of people don't understand that the dream, it's kind of like hypnotherapy. Once you're in there or meditate, there's a lot you can do. There's a lot that's going on, or how to consciously use, as a tool, or creative solutions, or problem solving, or awareness, or healing. There's a lot of different uses for the different modalities. Norma, if you could speak to that with your background, maybe even some of the ways that you have used dreaming or lucid dreaming, that I think could be kind of helpful and interesting, I think, also.
Yes, it's so
you even have
exciting.
Nightmare Rewrite. Yeah, there's so much.
Nightmare Rewrite. There's just what you're saying. I always say to people, you probably are just at the tip of the iceberg of what you're able to experience in the dreaming and lucid dream realms, because there is so much to explore. I've done this dream work with people all over the world, and what's interesting is that no matter where I was, Japan, South America, Europe, there seems to be a geography to the dream time that's in the human psyche that is common for people all over the world. This is amazing. So the dream time is a real thing. There's a dimensions that we go to that have a similar geography. So Nisha describes that in her various dreams in the book. That there are places to go, and then one builds upon another and builds upon another. And so there are pictures of drums of shamans, like from the Sami culture in the north, where the shamans drew the map of their dreamscape on the head of the drum and then kept building and building upon it. So, yes, there are places to go that we need to explore for putting together the pieces of the puzzle of our lives and our generational lives. The dream time is equally important to exploring ordinary reality, right? There's navigations and sailing off into places in the dream time that we need to do just as much as we value traveling in ordinary reality. So there's tremendous healing that can take place, because one of the reasons we need to go down in to our unconscious and into the dream time is because we need to explore our trauma wounds too, places where we've been hurt that have then caused us to go into defense patterns where we're doing things maybe that our parents did with us, and we're not acting in the healthiest of ways. So by going down into the dream time, you're able to explore the shadow realms, right? See where you've been wounded and heal those patterns. So therefore, we won't misuse power in ordinary reality. So we've got to go into the dream time to heal the ways that we might tend to be too defensive, doing the wrong things, misusing power, perceiving things in error. So that the healing that can take place by using the dream time that way being open to the dream time is tremendous. We need it in order to be able to heal the ways that we act in the world. Does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely. And I think all healing has to connect into that unconscious. We just cannot do it from the conscious only, or the cognitive aspect. What do you make also, Norma, of the idea, these archetypes that we live through or live out, and you see it in the dreams? There are archetypal imagery, right? And what you mentioned, it doesn't matter where you go to, there is a version of that. It doesn't matter where, what culture, how far, 6,000 miles one way, 6,000 miles, it doesn't matter. Right? This imagery, or in this way of expressing is, what do you make of that?
Well, Jung talked about the collective unconscious, right? And archetypes in the collective unconscious. So we do have this collective realm in our human psyches, and we're living out certain archetypes and healing certain archetypes. So I believe that, at a certain time on the planet, we're healing certain archetypes. So, for example, right now we're healing the baby king archetype, or the victim, damsel in distress woman archetype, or the manipulative, wicked queen archetype. There are these archetypes that are in all of us that we've grown up with because we've been conditioned by our families in certain ways. So as we heal these patterns in ourselves individually, we are helping to heal that archetypal pattern. Don't you think that's true?
I do. And I love what you're saying. Like, I was looking at it, also that ice queen or ice princess, the cold, the detached, that victim abuser, these these are thousands of years old. People talk of slavery. I always say, look, it's not 200 years ago. It's thousands. It's our whole society. I don't care if you were a Sumerian, Egyptian, ancient Greece, biblical times. This archetype has been, propagated and passed on. What do you think of this now? Where do you think we are with this shift? And do you see the archetypes changing? Do you see this healing?
Yes.
You do?
I think we're in a jump time.
Okay.
We're in a leap time. We're in a time of pattern shift, of a huge pattern shift. And we've got to make it quite rapidly in order for our survival and the Earth's healing. So we are definitely in a time when we're working deeply, rapidly in the dream time to make this set of pattern shifts. And the Mayan calendar was talking about that. They foresaw this time period when we would be leaving a whole era. They call it 5,600 years that have gone into this shaping of the patterns that we're living now are shifting right now. And we're going into what they called it the golden era. A new time. Now we've heard of the Aquarian age coming too, so I'm very hopeful that we're going to make it and that we are waking up. I love the name of your program, Awakenings, right? Because we are waking up as a humanity through AI too, and through all of these technologies too, which is part of the Aquarian age, but we are waking up to our power as consciousnesses that are one with God consciousness. But what we've got to do to use those powers correctly is heal the shadow wounds, just like you're saying.
Got to heal that.
These lineages of the wounded ways of acting, so that as we come into this tremendous era of awakened consciousness, that we're moving as one. The power of moving as one in this era of love, of tremendous, the truth of our interbeingness in love is what the prophecies of the Mayans and many have foreseen.
Yeah, and the Kali Yuga, and I can't think of it because it's hard to pronounce. Because we're in the Kali Yuga, the destruction.
Right.
But then we go into that building up in golden era. But of course, with destruction, out of chaos comes new order, confusion, new creativity. We are building at the same time. I gave the analogy the other day in a workshop. I said, look, it's like driving one car in your garage while another car in your garage is coming out. I said, that's where we're at. It's like, and it's a 2-car garage. You can do it, but it is going to take some maneuvering. Right? Yeah. And so
that's a good metaphor.
I'm kind of seeing this, and Misha, maybe you can even kind of speak to this for those that are listening right now, where to begin, because I do feel the mystical, the only way out of this, especially if you look at the astrology, Saturn and Neptune, or Saturn in Pisces and Neptune in Pisces, especially Neptune in Pisces is going to be there for a long time, and Pluto going into Aquarius. There's just a lot that is focusing on the mystical, anchored and grounded, obviously, but it is going to be the mystical part of life, the spirit realm, spirit, reading the signs, more and more and more, because that is the way of the soul. That's going to be more the way, rather than, I learned this technique, in school, or I graduated with this degree and this is how you do this. It's like, well, no, the landscape's changed. The math isn't working. So what would you say some practical ways or tools for people to tap into this realm and maybe understand this realm more, or use this realm more?
Absolutely,
and even more,
yes.
Right? Okay.
Yeah, I think that's a great question and a great point, is that we are moving into a time where we're being called to more and more mystical experiences. And obviously there's cycles, and there have been many times in history, too, where people were more in tune with the mystical realms. But that's why lucid dreaming, and like you all were talking about earlier, too, the importance of more and more dreamers, the importance of more and more lucid dreamers on our planet is so relevant right now, because truly, if you've had a lucid dream, you probably have felt that profound connection with non-ordinary reality, with the non-mundane world, but that mystical space. And being able to have the gnosis, the direct experience of it, like you were saying, you can learn about it in school, you can read about it in books, but when you have that direct lived experience, it really clicks in how us as humans have access to so much more than we might be aware of just on the day-to-day in ordinary reality. And so you're able to see and then have eyes for, in ordinary reality, to the synchronicities, the signs, really highly attune more with your inner guidance when you're having these experiences in the dream realms of being lucid, of having full awareness, and of being able to, like you all were talking about earlier too, work with these archetypes directly in the dream realms. That's a whole section of the cards talks about the different archetypes that you may encounter, like being able to speak directly with your inner child or directly with your higher self. And whereas you can do that from a meditation in waking reality or imagining it, when you're in a lucid dream, you know how it is to be in a dream. You're really there. And so you're really having this direct questioning and seeking guidance. Say, hey, I want to talk to my higher self and see what my purpose is right now. Well, you can, in a lucid dream, be like, higher self, please come to me, and then you'll see them in front of you, and it's just such a profound experience to have that. Also, working with nightmares, that's a big part, and that's a big part of what gets people interested in lucid dreaming, too, is if they have recurring nightmares or frequent nightmares, and the dream time has become this scary realm for them, this realm of aversion and not wanting to even go there because it is so challenging. While with lucid dreaming, you're able to become aware that it is a dream, and therefore that diffuses the fear. You realize that nothing can hurt you in the dream realms. There is no death in the dream realms. And so then, say, the monster that's been chasing you, you can turn to face that monster, and there's different ways that you can interact with it once you have lucidity. You can, and if you need to, sometimes just be like, I don't want to deal with you anymore. I'm going to fly up and away, and that can feel really powerful. Or you can say, hey, what message are you trying to bring to me? Who are you? Why are you coming to me in this way? And have a conversation, or even just practice having really strong boundaries where you say, you know what, you're not welcome here, and you give a fiery ring around you even in the lucid realm. And all of that can feel so empowering and have such a profound shift both in your dream time as well as then in waking reality, because that carries through. And like my mom talks about too, then doing your shadow work in ordinary reality to work through it deeper on a deeper level too, having that combined with the lucid dreaming is so amazing. And so to answer your question too about the practical things, lucid dreaming is a practice. And just like any other skill, it takes practice. And so what it takes is doing the daytime practices of performing state checks, which are actions you can take. One that a lot of people know is looking at your hands and flipping them back and forth. And if it stays your regular hand, you're awake. But if it changes, because in the dream time your hand often doesn't stay the shape that it is, then you're dreaming and you'll become lucid. Another one is jumping up in the air. If you float, you're definitely dreaming. If you come back to the ground with gravity like you normally would, you're awake. So what you're doing is when you're performing these state checks in waking reality, you're training your mind to constantly be questioning if you could be dreaming or if you're really awake. And that is the key to lucid dreaming, is cultivating that questioning mind so that then eventually you will inevitably carry it over into your dream state. You'll be dreaming. Something will be kind of strange or off. You'll think, could I be dreaming? Do a state check. And when you do that state check, because you are in the dream, it will show you, like you jump up in the air and you start flying and you say, aha, I am dreaming. And then you have lucidity.
So two-parter here for either of you or both of you. One is a lot of people have been dreaming more or aware of their dreams, I guess is more aptly put, and feeling that dream state and kind of being lulled in. I'm getting, clients, the workshops, people calling in, they're saying, I'm remembering my dreams, or they're saying, I'm dreaming more. And the other thing that I recently noticed that I want to get your take on is that, I've forever, a big dreamer. In fact, one of my teachers said, Beverly Martin in London, I have this rich inner life. A lot of times I'd rather be in the dream state, lucid dreaming and traveling and astral than waking, But recently I noticed, and I just got it just kind of intuitively from my inner guidance, my higher self, work more consciously with this instead of just visiting and lucid dream travels and this and that. I've been more present with what's going on and bringing it, consciously into the waking state and back and forth. Unbeknownst to my ego self, I don't know why, but I've just been guided. And today, this morning, when I went on my walk and I was doing my voice recording, and I stopped and I went, oh, I'm different somehow. Something's different. And just in my mind, I said, it's the dreaming. It's the lucid dreaming. And something's changed. Certain things that bothered me aren't bothering me as much or at all. A certain level of confidence in a certain area was something I was struggling with. And I thought, I don't know how or why, but I'm attributing to the dream work. Okay, what are your thoughts? Does that make sense?
Totally makes sense. The dream work is your presence to your unconscious healing you, because at night everyone's unconscious, and the presence of higher power there with us is healing us. So it just makes sense that the more you're paying attention to your dreams and honoring them, the more the healing is taking place. Now, you've always been a dreamer and been having that happen, but what I also hear you saying is that there's a quickening happening right now, that there's something that's happening, that we are feeling an infusion of help too, maybe many of us are feeling that right now. I've been feeling it too. So I just want to affirm that I think that they are reaching out to us as much as we are knowing that we must pay attention more. There's a way of integrating things that come up from our dreams in our ordinary reality life that I also hear you referring to. So you've been telling yourself, pay attention, be more conscious, work with us in ordinary reality more. And so that's what we have to do. We have to heal in our dream time and by going into our unconscious through meditating too and through doing our shadow work, consciously healing our trauma wounds, all of that work that goes on to then be changing the patterns in our ordinary reality life. It's not just the frivolous thing to do the dream work.
Yeah.
Like you're saying, it's an important part of changing our ordinary reality.
So part of what I'm hearing you say also, if I may, it sounds like, and you said that reaching into that spirit realm or the unconscious through this modality or this approach, this tool, this function that we have within us, not only needed and necessary, but I feel like the call is there to do that, and that's where we meet that deeper healing. That's that possibility, and then, like you said, working with it, bringing it into that waking state. It seems, and I don't know if because there's more people dreaming, or it's the time, or the veil. I mean, I guess there could be a lot of different reasons, but it seems like it's more not only needed and necessary, but more prevalent right now and more accessible right now.
Definitely. I've really felt that in my own dreaming practice as well as talking to others and seeing how there is this shift, like you all were talking about earlier, that is really happening where more and more people are remembering and deeply feeling their dreams and seeing the insights contained within them. And even looking back on a dream they had a few weeks ago and being like, wow, that was really a premonition of what was happening or what's going to be happening right now, and seeing how there is more and more of this link up between the dream time and ordinary reality, where the two are intermingling and informing one another. And it really feels like this is a time when that's happening on a quickening and more worldwide level.
Right, because we have to come to trust. We've got to come to trust our inner guidance system, I call it. So many people have a hard time making decisions or are confused about where they're going. And I know you help people a lot with that, Michele. You're helping them to tune in to their inner guidance system. So that's what the dreams are there to help us with, that we all do have an inner guidance system. I say that we have an inner I-thou relationship. When you go into the dreams, you're not alone there. You meet up with this other part of you that is a guide, that is a higher power. And in the drumming journeys, you meet up with it in the form of a power animal, which cultures all over the world have admitted and honored that these animals are there to help us. They're a little lower than the angels, and they're there to help guide us. So we have this inner I-thou relationship that Nisha and I are always talking to people about. You've got to strengthen this inner relationship. It's an intimate relationship that does help us to trust that the universe is loving and is guiding us.
I love you saying this because this is a big concern and question I get all the time, and I always say, listen, your higher self or higher power is not ever sleeping. Just because you go to sleep or you think you're procrastinating, it's getting things done. And because people are worried, I'm not doing enough. I'm not, I couldn't do this, I couldn't do that. And I'm like, okay, but that part of you knows what you want.
Exactly.
Right. So, but I think you hit on something, the connecting to that part. I feel what you just said. I've got just confirmation goosebumps all over my arms. I think what you said is just so important, right? We have to connect with that part of us more and more and more. I think that is key. We can't do it from that other, denser reality.
Yes, it is key, and you have to become trustworthy to yourself.
Yeah.
So if people are, taking a lot of chemicals or things that might numb them out, or even go into altered states misguidedly or too frequently, you've got to come into balance within yourself so that you are psycho-navigating these realms with responsibility and tuning into the guidance of this higher power, because it's there to guide us, like you're saying. We are not alone. It is there to guide us and to help us each step of the way.
Well, I got to have you back on for that conversation, too, because I feel a lot of people get misguided, and that opens interesting doorways that are not always accurate or easily navigatable with the dependence on the...
in our next book, Michele, we just are in a contract for our next book, which is on psycho-navigation. So have us back and we can talk about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think tapping into these realms and using it. And ever since the beginning of whatever we want to call time, this is what people do to navigate. Whether it's a dreamer, an oracle, prophet, a trend reader, if you want to call it now. They read the trends, a futurist. People are navigating what you can't see, but you get a hunch or feel. Whatever you want. The stock market does that. Oh, you too. I could go on and on and on. I'm so thankful that you were able to come on and share. I feel like I'm fanning out here because I've been diving into your book and your cards and just thinking, wow, finally something that really taps into this realm and is really usable is here. Yeah, so thank you for being here. Let us know, obviously in the description box of this episode there is ways to get in touch with you, but those that are just only going to be listening to the audio cast, anything you want to share or how people can get in touch with you, the availability of the book and the oracle cards, anything you want to let us know?
Definitely, yes. Well, the book and oracle cards are available everywhere books are sold, so Amazon, Barnes & Noble. You can request them at your local bookstore, and also, just online. And then we also have an Instagram. It's the same name as the book, at Lucid Dreaming, Lucid Living, and there we post regular content, information about lucid dreaming, what we're up to, all of that, as well as just guidance in how to navigate these realms. So that's a great thing to follow for daily and regular hits of information. And then we're getting ready to launch 2 classes right now, 2 online classes. One of them is a Dream 101 class where it's really helping people and taking them through the steps of being able to remember their dreams, connect with the dream time, preparing to lucid dream, and understanding how to interpret your dreams, all of that. And then we're launching a huge masterclass on lucid dreaming where it's going to delve really deeply into the practice of lucid dreaming, into how to get to the advanced spaces within lucid dreaming, and also working with, again, like these nightmare energies, working with your animal guides, working with drumming journeys. So that is going to be a huge masterclass. It's launching soon, too. So if you go to our website, luciddreaming.com, then you can find out more about that, get on the wait list for the class, and also on our website, there's a link to purchase the book and deck as well.
And you can go to normaburton.com to find out about my deep shadow work process, too. So Lucid Dreaming, lucidliving.com, and normaburton.com.
Perfect. Oh, my gosh. Okay. I already look forward to having you back on again.
Well, thank you so much. It's been thrilling to talk with you. Right? We're so on the same wavelength. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you so much for being here. And take good care.
Thanks so much. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye. All right, Soul Lights, further info is in the description box. If you have any questions about Norma and Nisha and their work and their recent book, you can go to their website, and all that is in the description box below. And I have been, you've been regular listeners to me. I don't kind of hype or talk about a lot of books because we get so many here. But this one I really can say is, I don't even care if you're a reader or just interested in dreams, it's really beneficial. And I think tapping in through the into the dreamscape, whether lucid dreaming or using the meditative state, to have a good foundation to tap into that, it's kind of crucial for where we're going. And definitely where we are, but what we're creating. A lot of our direction comes from our dreams. The soul through the unconscious or subconscious, the messaging comes a lot in the dream state. All right, Soul Lights, again, thank you all that left on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, iTunes, those 5 stars. I really, really appreciate your reviews, your appreciation comments, and you taking the time to do that. If you want to connect with me further, you can on Patreon, Soul Insights and Tarot, as well as Awakenings with Michele Meiche podcast on iTunes, and also Instagram. If you have any questions, need any clarification, or you want anything answered online, or you have topic suggestions or guest suggestions, please email awakeningspodcast@gmail.com. All right, as always, continue to shine your light, share your insights, and, of course, keep awake.
Awakenings broadcasts every Wednesday, 12 p.m. Pacific Time. Archive shows available on iTunes. For continued awakened conversations and insights, join the Awakenings group on Facebook. And check out Michele's blog at soulplayground.com. And keep awake.